Hello, this is Pete, or Kinch1913,
and his friend Rob.
and this is another Game of Thrones review. And this time we're going to be reviewing Episode 4, Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things.
Quality up.
Yeah, so let's just quickly go over a brief summary of what went on in the episode. So we begin with Bran. He's shooting a bow and arrow because he's not crippled. And he sees the three-eyed crow, but then we find out that it's
crippled.
Yeah,
He'll be crippled forever.
Yeah, it's just his dream.
Yeah.
And then we go to...
My dreams are a lot dirtier.
Yeah, they're a lot dirtier. And mine usually are not really... They just stink because they're just normal stuff. But
you dream about going to laundromat.
Yeah, and get on a bus.
Wow.
Sucks. Anyway, so then we go to Tyrion. He arrives in Winterfell.
Yeah.
And he wants to see Lady Stark because he thinks she's there, but she's not because she's went to see Ned.
She's gallivanting.
So basically, Rob treats him like shit, and basically what he does is he gives Bran an idea for a saddle,
which is awful nice of a dwarf.
Yeah, because he's a nice guy. Because he's a good guy. He ends up, he's a good guy for being a little dude.
And do you think most little people are predispositioned to be jerks?
No, I just think that he.
I mean, I would forgive them. They're looking at balls and asses all day.
Yeah, because they're so close to the ground.
I think most are jovial people.
Yeah, it's kind of like fat people. Usually, mostly jovial. So he gives him an idea for a saddle so Bran can ride again and be pretty cool. Then we head to Castle Black where Sam, a new character, comes in. Samwise. Oh, wait, wrong.
Nope.
I was about to say Samwise.
Wrong nerd shit, bro.
Wrong nerd shit. Samwell Tarly, who's played by John Bradley.
Spot on.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He basically comes to Castle Black. He admits that he's a huge coward, and he can't fight. And they're training with him, and he just gets hit, and he's crying, and he's like, I'm a coward, that's why I can't fight.
He also ends up explaining why he's there.
Yeah, but that'll be there a little later. I do mention that. So now we head to where Daenerys is, and they head to Vas. Well, how do you say that again, Rob?
I would say Vas Dothraki.
Yeah, it's basically the city of the Horse Lords, and they're basically going to stay there for a while.
It's like a giant underground mall.
It does seem like that. And so then we have, let's see, City of the Horse Lords. Viserys is in a bath with a lady, a nude lady. They're both nude. And
nobody usually wears clothes in a bath.
Usually not. I used to wear my underpants way back when, but that's another story, Rob.
It's not for this
vlog. It's not for this vlog.
That's another vlog.
Anyway, so
every time I say vlog, I feel like I'm gonna throw up a little.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of gross. But what do they call this? A sex position?
Sextaposition.
Yeah, and what is that, Rob?
It comes from the word juxtaposition, which is like an explanation of events.
Yeah.
And sextaposition is something Game of Thrones sort of invented.
Yeah.
And it's explaining to us certain things, usually about the past or about the way things are done in this universe.
Yeah.
But to distract us for just telling us rules and history, they usually throw titties in your face.
Yeah, they throw people banging.
They know how to make you pay attention to the things when they're also giving you a little history lesson.
And I want to say that this was originally done in Game of Thrones, an HBO spot-on job, because...
Well done.
It makes you listen, you know what I mean?
Well done, yeah. And Salt Life is because Deanna's plowing some broad in Season 2.
Yeah, and so he's talking about the dragons and how they used to be badass. But
they used to be dragons, and now there's no dragons.
So then we go back to King's Landing, and in King's Landing, Septa, Mordain, and Sansa are talking about various things, her being...
a twat.
Sansa's a twat. Yeah, Sansa is a douche. If I had to say one character I really dislike right now, it's Sansa. Definitely.
She's just awful.
Because she's like, oh, I love Joffrey.
Because she's not even bad. She's just fucking stupid.
Yeah. Well, teenage girls. What are you going to do?
It doesn't matter what universe they're in. They're just still teenage girls.
Yeah, they're real dumb. And let's see. Then we go to talk about stuff in the realm. And then we go to... where is it? No. Ned. Where the hell am I here? I always lose track. All right.
Finger there, bro.
Yeah, Ned. So basically, then we go to. I say basically a lot. Someone mentioned that. Anyways,
it's something you should work on.
I have been trying.
I'll bet you the thesaurus. There you go.
Anyways, then we go to Ned. He's talking with the council. They're talking about stuff, and about the hand of the
he seemed
king.
hot in this picture.
Yeah, a lot of them seem to be sweating
he's drinking,
quite a bit.
He's kind of like, this is just, I'm a northern boy, I'm not used to this heat.
Yeah,
which is subtle quality acting.
I know. And then everyone leaves, and Grand Maester Pycelle is still around, and they kind of talk about Jon Arryn's demise in his last days, and he asked him what was he looking for, and he said, "Oh, a book. He was looking for a book." So then Ned kind of suspects that it was probably poison that killed Jon Arryn, the other hand. And
Jon Arryn reminds me a lot of the cult hit Twin Peaks TV show.
Yeah.
Where it was all about the murder of a girl. We never really get to meet the person.
The murderer or the girl?
The murdered person.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but like that kickstarts a whole series in Twin Peaks. It's kind of the way it does in the Game of Thrones. It kickstarts this whole epic.
Yeah.
And we really know very little about him.
Yeah, I know.
And we never actually get to see the character or like have him interact with anybody.
Yeah, just for a brief moment when they show rocks on his eyes.
Oh, they show a corpse, yeah.
Yeah. And then, let's see.
Good job, bro.
And so Ned suspects poison, and then Ned goes back to his area where he lives in the castle called the Tower of the Hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking with Arya about how, she's going to go up to be a lady.
Yeah.
And Arya's like, F that, I don't want to be a freaking lady. That's not my life.
You can't see that happening to
No.
that girl. She's going to grow up, she's going to kick some dudes in the balls, she's going to suck a few dicks, because she looks like she's going to grow up and be like, you know what? I ain't being held down. I'm going to have many men I want.
Yeah.
And she's going to kick the shit out of
Yeah, she's going to kick the shit out of a whole bunch of guys.
They hold that girl down.
She's training to become a woman.
A fighter already.
Yeah, already. So it's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the wall where Jon and Sam are talking because now they're kind of partners together.
They're hanging out.
And
they kind of dad for him.
Yeah, and they kind of become friends in this moment as Sam kind of tells him why he's at the wall, basically.
Because if he didn't, his dad was going to kill him.
Yeah, because he was
such
a coward.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah, that's like a late term abortion right there. Like,
I think that's
real late term.
I think that's the Game of Thrones version of disowning your gay son.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have no son.
Yeah, it's like that. Except he offered to kill him too.
Yeah, and so they kind of have a laugh.
They have a little moment. They have a touching bromance.
Yeah, they have a little bromance going there, and it's pretty nice. And we head back once again to Littlefinger with Ned as they're walking through the gardens of King's Landing, and Littlefinger is kind of telling him all about the spies and how you can't trust nobody. This person belongs to Varys, this person belongs to me, this person belongs to the Queen, this, that, and the other. Because there's a lot of spying going on, and that's how you got to be when you're in the capital, I guess. And then
just like politics. And
then Ned, so Littlefinger kind of tells him a couple things about who Jon Arryn was investigating before he died. So Ned starts to investigate these people himself, and he goes to a blacksmith. And he meets this young man named Gendry.
Yeah.
And he is played by Joe Dempsey. Gendry, as they find out, is one of Robert's bastards.
Yes.
Kind of like John with Ned.
The common black hair and the blue eyes of Robert, which all his bastards seem to have.
Mm-hmm.
So
then we head back to the Castle Black where John wants to help Sam out by not getting him beat up. So he intimidates a couple of people there, and he does it with the help of his two friends, Gren and Pip, who he's recruited. They've kind of become buddies. Gren is played by Mark Stanley.
Thanks for having the easiest name to memorize.
And then Pip is played by Joseph Aiton. Sorry if I say it wrong. All right.
I think it's Joseph Alton.
Alton, but maybe I didn't put an L there, but. Yeah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I mispronounced your last name. He might. There's a sliver. I hope.
If you are, tell us. I'm betting him 10-1. You know.
Yeah, probably not. So then John kind of intimidates the guys.
He used bullying to stop the bullying.
Yeah. So
I don't know what the B-Star program would say about that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's what happens.
So he gets them to not fight, and Sam beats him up. And then Alistair Thorne, who is pretty pissed off that they're not beating up this big fat coward the way that most people should beat up big fat cowards.
That's the way I was treated.
Yeah, so he gets pretty pissed off about that, and he has a talk with him. Let's see. Who knows that later?
A little later on he does.
Yeah, he does a little later on. But anyway, so Jon wants to help Sam, intimidates, blah, blah, blah. And then we go back to, how do you say it? Vice Dothraki.
Vice Dothraki.
Yeah.
I don't know,
whatever. They go back to the Savage City.
Oh, yeah.
Where Viserys comes running in. He's really ticked off. He's like, how dare you order me, blah, blah, blah.
He's usually ticked off about something.
He is ticked off about something.
He's kind of a little bitch.
He is a big bitch. He's another character that you kind of understand why he's a bitch, but he's just going about being a bitch the wrong way.
Yeah.
Bitch wrong way. So he kind of gets into a fight with Dany. And this is actually the official first time that she kind of fights back, like, physically. Like, this is the first time she kind of, like, fought back against him.
Probably mentally.
He was whipped. He was whipped by another guy, and she's like, oh, no, let him go.
Yeah.
But this time, she's like, F this guy. I don't like him anymore. He's really ticking me off.
Whacks him across the face with a fucking metal chain.
Yeah, with like a chain or something. And then he leaves, and he's like, meh. So then we head back to Sam and Jon, and they're talking about ladies, as dudes usually do while they're doing chores and whatnot.
Even the Game of Thrones can't stop to talk about perfect boobs.
I know, and so they kind of talk about that, and then Alistair Thorne comes in, and he just tells them how they're just a bunch of boys, and they're little pieces of crap that don't really know real winter.
Kind of lays a little harsh truth on him.
Yeah, kind of.
But in a dickish way.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem.
He's a huge dick, and you don't really learn anything from him when he yells at you. You're like, man, he's just a dick.
Mm.
So then we go back again. They're doing a good job of cutting back and forth. We go back to Dany, where she's talking with Jorah Mormont, and she kind of realizes that Viserys is never going to take him home. She's a terrible leader, and he is not like the real dragon she thought he was going to be.
Yeah, he's
just kind of like Mormont said, he's a shadow of a snake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's not a real dragon.
Nah, he's a dirtbag.
So then, let's see, we begin the Tournament of the Hand, which they started in this episode.
Jousted, motherfuckers.
And Littlefinger kind of is there. He's yapping with Sansa. And what ends up happening is this guy named Hugh of the Vale.
Hugh of the Vale.
Hugh of the Vale, played by Jefferson Hall. Thank you again for another easy name.
Small part, but...
Yeah, he was Jon Arryn's squire. Right?
Yeah.
He got promoted tonight, and he's there.
Pretty quickly after Jon Arryn died.
Yeah, and he's there.
Maybe insinuating that,
something.
Usually to gain a knighthood in this place, you need to do something.
Yeah, you got to do something.
And if you really didn't do anything special, but then Jon Arryn died and he got a knighthood, maybe you can throw a piece together. Maybe he had a hand in it.
That's what I like about this show, is because it's like a mystery, and you're like, oh, why?
It is. Even when they give you a clue, even if it's a heavy-handed clue, they don't always come out and say it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But some people think this kid might have helped.
Yeah, so he has to fight the Mountain, all right?
Bad draw, man.
And the Mountain...
Or was it bad luck?
I think it was...
I don't think it was bad luck.
I think it was a little bit of a bad draw. But
I think it was a little bit of on-purpose planning by somebody running the tournament.
Yeah, by someone being paid to make sure that this guy,
faces that guy.
The Mountain. So, the Mountain, or Gregor Clegane, is played by Conan Stevens.
Good name for a guy who's massive.
Yeah, the Mountain is this huge man who is the brother of the Hound, if you remember the burn-faced fella.
Yeah.
And let's see where we're at. So they have this little sparring thing, and Hugh of the Vale
jousts him right through the fucking jugular.
Hugh of the Vale gets jousted right in the neck, and he dies,
spitting up blood and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And Littlefinger kind of tells Sansa, because he's sitting right next to her, background story of the Hound on why he's burnt and why those two bros
do not get along.
Do not get along at all.
They do not.
And it's pretty nasty.
And why the Hound dislikes knights.
Yeah, because of the little knight figure.
The little toy knight figure the boys are fighting over. And older brother decided to push the younger brother's face in the fire.
So then we had...
Did your older brother ever do that to you?
Never pushed my face in a fire.
That's nice. That's nice. I never did it to my little brother.
Yeah, no. But he had quite a murderous temper, as they said.
Yeah, he did.
So then we go to Cersei. She's talking with Ned. She's just asking, why are you here? What are you doing? Why are you investigating?
Here. What are you doing?
Why are you investigating the same thing Jon Arryn was investigating? He's like, because I learned how to kill because I'm a soldier, blah, blah, blah.
Ned likes to take his orders.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he kind of threatens her a little bit. She kind of threatens him in a way. It's like
they both act a little ballsy.
Yeah.
They're doing a little peacocking at each other.
So the final scene, Tyrion. Well, actually, let's start off. Cat and Roderick are in an inn, and
at the crossroads.
Yeah. It is. And then Tyrion comes in and he notices. So Catelyn has to think fast.
Since they're trying to travel under
the guise of just a man and a woman, which is usually how most people travel, sort of. Anyway, so Cat calls all these people around and gets them to arrest Tyrion.
Yeah.
Which is a big, major move. And I think it was a great idea to end the episode right there because it kind of leaves you wanting more because you're like,
10 swords pointed at a dwarf? That's a pretty good way to end the
Yeah, because shit is going down.
It is.
So I think there was one person I forgot to mention in the episode, Hodor. Right, he's just now we're going to talk about characters here. He's a big giant man. Yeah. He works at Winterfell. He's kind
what they would call a dullard, maybe.
Yeah, and he's played by Kristen Niam. I think I'm saying that right. So, Rob, let's talk about the summary. What did you like or dislike about this episode?
I liked most of it.
I like the pacing. I think they do a really good job with the pacing so far.
That's one of the strengths of the show is you don't feel like you're getting dragged down in one area, and you also never feel. I guess one could argue you feel a little like you get head spun around
because they got a lot of characters too.
And they do, but you kind of know that this is the 4th episode.
Yeah.
And you're going to accept this or you're not. So either you're in for it and you're sticking around, or you're fucking bailing. And you're not even watching this, so who gives a shit?
Yeah. So, my likes in this, I like the pacing. I like that they're really, like, now he's starting to invest, Ned's really starting to investigate this death, which is probably, like, the main reason why you're watching it right now. Is because you're like, oh, shit, someone's going to, this guy died. Why did he die? And Ned's investigating because he's the main, looks like he's the main character of this series. So you're like, oh, fuck, now we're finally getting to some of the good shit here. Yeah. And I don't know if there's any dislikes right now. So new characters, any of the new characters, are there anyone that you like the most out of these guys or gals?
Sam as both a character and the actor who plays him.
Yeah.
Spot on casting, terrifically done. And he's interesting because he's so unlike the rest of the guys who took the block.
Yeah. He knows that he's a coward.
Which is almost like something you would never admit.
No, not when you're going to be fighting for your life up in a wasteland.
I mean, you wouldn't even say it if you were like just a dude on the road. You know, go, oh, I'm a coward. He's probably robbed me.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't say it, and he just admits it right off the bat, and they're like, all right, that's fucking weird. But he's so different. It's probably going to create different situations.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
And about I think I'd have to go the same. I like in this episode. I like Sam. I relate to him a lot because I'm a fat guy. Who's usually thinking about the ladies. You know what I mean? So it's
Sam might be the guy.
He's
they wrote for us.
Yeah,
Let's face it. If you're watching this, you love Game of Thrones. You're probably a fat guy like us. Start it out there. Yeah. If you're not, by all means, send us pictures to prove you're not.
Yeah.
I don't care about your pictures.
Yeah, please don't send us pictures.
No. So, I mean, unless you're a lady. We always love pictures of ladies.
Yeah.
And by the way, fat, skinny, whatever, white, black, whatever.
Yeah.
Send us pictures.
So let's go into, is the episode staying true to the book? I think so.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except for one situation, which I will explain. The tournament, in the book, it lasts 2 days. All right.
Oh, sure.
At the end of day one, Sansa's going home, and she kind of gets lost, and someone takes her home. The Hound. Yep. And the Hound actually tells his own story.
Yes.
And this one, Littlefinger tells it. I can understand. They don't got all the time to have this 2-day tournament thing going on.
Yeah. You got to.
So I totally
things
understand.
Things are going to be condensed.
Yeah, I totally.
And that's a way to. It does a lot of things to a lot of characters, though.
Yeah,
it keeps the Hound feeling like a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Sansa still gets to learn this information.
Mm-hmm.
And by having Littlefinger be the one explaining it to her, it just proves that he knows a lot of shit about everybody.
Yeah, he does.
So that was the best way to do that. If you're going to change it in a way that's going to be a positive.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm. So let's go with our final thing, the best line and best kill. I think my favorite line, I'll go first, is I have a tender spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things. And that's Tyrion he was talking about. Just, things in general. And it's kind of interesting, like, you got Cripples, you know, you got Bran, Bastards, John, you got you know, Broken Things, kind of like Sam,
or himself,
yeah, or himself, yeah, it's kind of neat, you know, I like that.
Yeah, those people are in a lot of the people in the
Yeah,
realm.
yeah, yeah. And so, what was your favorite line?
Let me see.
Distrusting me was the wisest thing.
Yeah, Littlefinger talking to Ned. Ned finally says something about trusting.
He's like, I'm glad I can trust you.
Yeah, Littlefinger. And Littlefinger says, distrusting me was the wisest thing you've done since you got off your horse.
Yeah. That's a great line.
It is, because he's kind of letting you know, you sure you can trust me? Don't.
Yeah, and I like it too.
I'm in it for me.
Yeah, I like it too, because it just kind of shows you the mentality of the characters in King's Landing and the fact that they will backstab you you know, like the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Like the drop.
Like not even like, oh, you gotta watch out for this dick. You gotta watch out for every dick.
Every dick.
Everybody's looking out for themselves, or it's they're looking out for somebody that they're paying them to look out.
Yeah, totally.
Lot of politics and espionage and just
another reason why
rampant douchebaggery.
Another reason why I really like the show is because I kind of like the spy thing going on, you know, and the
everybody's looking after everybody.
Yeah. And so finally, the best kill, probably the only kill in the episode.
It was the only significant kill.
Yeah, you of the Veil.
Yeah, he got a lance through the fucking neck. That's pretty badass. So Jefferson Hall,
good job.
You only had, I think, 4 lines in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Well done, bro. Good death scene. One of the betters of I think of the whole first season.
Yeah, definitely. Just because it's like graphic, it's like, and
it's
like,
an intimate death too.
Yeah, you see it right, and it's right in your face.
It was very well shot in the way that he's in the foreground, and we get to see the people that are in the stands at a fucking sporting event.
Yeah,
watch this happen in the background.
Yeah, it's like watching
very well done.
It's like watching a football player like get paralyzed.
Yeah, it's that whole fucking like hushed crowd thing happening. Yeah. It was kind of like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it was very well shot, I thought too.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this review of episode 4, Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things.
Are we going to do episode 5 next?
Oh yeah. This has been Pete.
Makes sense to go in order.
Or Kenshin1913 along with
Rob. Or I don't remember my YouTube name.
Hey, whatever. It's Rob. It's King Rob.
It's King Rob something.
Yeah.
Rob
so this is we will see you in the next Game of Thrones review. Bye-bye.